up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Big and Blizz podcast with your hosts, Big Mike and Blizzy. Episode 20. You know the deal. It's repetitive by now. Anyways, we want to start off by congratulating the Chicago Sky of the WNBA. They are the WNBA champs. Congratulations to those women over there. I know it's a hard-fought battle all season for any sport, any league to win a championship, so we salute y'all.
Yeah, that was, like you said, it takes a long time to get there. I mean, respect, championship.
It's a marathon. You got to run a marathon through the seasons. I don't know how many games a WNBA season is, to be honest. I mean, the NBA is 82 games, but still, it doesn't even matter if it's half of that. That's still a marathon to run.
Yeah, well, and I was looking at something because I want to. So I saw this thing, and it was a meme, and it's kind of fucked up. But it said, because the Suns lost the NBA championship.
Yeah.
Phoenix Mercury lost the WNBA championship.
Damn it.
It's the first time that like the WNBA and the NBA team both have gone to a championship, and then they both lost the championship.
So, do you think that the Arizona Cardinals might make the Super Bowl and lose this year?
Hey,
they're on pace to do big things. They're the only undefeated team in the NFL right now, right?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's still doing it. I know last week on the podcast we talked about Myles Garrett, and it was Myles Garrett, right, for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And his Halloween decorations in his front yard had tombstones, 7 of them marked with various NFL quarterbacks, players
randomly selected is what it seemed like.
No, well, 4 of them were 3 of them were his division.
That's what I'm saying. The other 4 were very.
Yeah, I think there was 2 more that he was gonna play this season. Obviously, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals being one, and then there was 2 that were just random. I think Derek Carr was one. I don't either way, But we saw earlier on TMZ Sports, there was a snippet of after the game when they came out and congratulated each other and showed love, where there was a soundbite where Kyler Murray had told Myles Garrett, I'm offended. Why did you put me on the tombstone, blah, blah. And he was like, Myles Garrett said, it's motivation. He was like, yeah, but I mean, blah, blah, blah. Obviously the Cardinals won, they're still undefeated. And Myles Garrett was like, well, not tonight. You played, a great game and yada, yada. But anyways, it was just funny that segued into that. But speaking of Myles Garrett, that's a good segue right there, Big.
This man, he said literally the second game he doesn't wear sleeves, gets tested, gets sent a random,
quote unquote, we're doing air quotes over here,
random drug test.
Was this last week we talked about the first one, or the week before?
I think it was last week.
We had already discussed this.
So yeah.
Not this, but.
Only his second time, and this is exactly what his Twitter post says. It says, I go sleeveless 2 times and get randomly drug tested both times. I would try 3 for 3, but you can miss me with the blood draw, not the Vive. Sleeveless Miles is retired.
Yeah, he don't want to get poked. He said he would go 3 for 3 just to see if it was just to prove that they were giving him random drug tests every time he didn't wear sleeves. Mind you, if you didn't hear it last week, we talked. This guy he's like the Incredible Hulk. This man is shredded. He's always wore like a loose-fitting white long-sleeved shirt.
Yeah, it's like
it's not like an Under Armour spandex or not.
I don't know
Nike,
what brand it is, but yeah, it's like loose kind of.
I say Under Armour because growing up in sports, Under Armour was the first one to have like the spandex wear. So I always call it Under Armour, but then I have to retract that. It's not. It's like the spandex wear or whatever, the sports spandex. Yeah. So it's a loose-fitting like a Dak Prescott wears or Zeke, because like I said, I'm a Cowboys fan. Zeke wears every so often a loose-fitting. It's almost like just a long-sleeve T-shirt.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. So he last week didn't wear one at all, like a
for the first time,
and got a random drug test. This was the second time he went sleeveless, got a random drug test.
So this
motherfucker shredded.
He screenshotted the text message because it's a text message now that you get hit with.
Oh wow! Because they used to send out like a header and everything.
And so it says today at 6:01 a.m. That's how the screenshot starts. and it says, "Hello, my name is," and he blocked the person's name out.
Yeah, got to.
"I'm contacting you on behalf of the NFL. You've been selected for a random hot HGH blood draw."
So it's not a fucking like a substance, like a, you know what I'm saying, like an alcohol or a weed. They're looking for human. HGH stands for human growth hormone.
That must be, mind you, he got this text at 6:01 a.m. Must be completed by 12 today. Please confirm.
Noon. So he had 5 hours and 59 minutes.
He gets another text at 7:15 because obviously he was probably sleeping or something. It says, "Please confirm."
Damn it!
I'm like, damn, bro, like, can you not understand? Homeboy was probably taking a nap. Like,
they're like, that hour he's out there trying to find some cover-up medicine,
right? Like
the fuck. So, but he said he would go 3 for 3 just to test out the theory that they're only testing him because he is showing how big his arms are, but he doesn't want to get poked. Nobody wants to get needles in him. Yeah, I mean, you want to get a tattoo. You don't want needles in you, but you do for the sake of getting the art done on you. You know what I'm saying? But nobody. I personally have never met somebody that's like, fucking poke me. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee there's some real sadistic, weird people out there. That
I mean, I've seen like drug addict documentaries.
Oh yeah,
and some of them say that the needle is part of the high.
Yeah, but in this case, it's
no, I'm saying
no, but I understand what you're saying.
Weird.
That's very weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's super weird, but to each his own. Everybody's different, and to those people that have addictions and are addicts, hopefully you guys get your treatment and
yeah. Like I was just like, I find that. I just thought it was like a weird thing. Like,
it makes sense, I guess, because it in your mind you would think this is what leads to that euphoric feeling for some people.
It's just like, like the anticipation, like when you see the needle loading up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anticipation like heightens your.
Yeah, I can see how that works.
That's just like
in theory, because I don't know that to be. We've never been that, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so congratulations to the Sky and then Myles Garrett and the Tombstones and Kyler Murray. Like, we just jumped around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where are we on next, Big?
I mean, we're talking Myles Garrett and football.
Yeah, that's what the segue was. Sorry.
Yeah. So we actually tied this week in picks. We'll do this real fast.
Oh yeah.
Both. No, where did I put it?
Oh, you know what we didn't? Oh, we do that. We do that on air, right? We do our next week's picks.
Yeah, so we were both 10-4. That's counting tonight's game because we both picked Browns.
Yeah. So we tied 10-4. There was no tiebreak on that.
No, yeah, we both 10-4. And then this week it would be Chiefs Titans, which is the early game on Sunday. And I went Chiefs.
I said Titans.
He went Titans, and then you got football team versus Packers.
Packers.
We both went Pack. Panthers versus Giants.
Panthers.
We both went Panthers. Falcons, Dolphins. We both went Falcons. Jets versus Pats. I went Jets just to be
tiebreaker. I went Pats. Just to be opposite.
Eagles versus Raiders. We both went We both went Raiders.
I was like, no.
We both went Raiders.
I like the Raiders, and the Eagles are a rival in my division.
Lions versus Rams. We both went Rams.
I don't know who's betting on Lions. I mean, they're probably gonna win one throughout the season. I'm not saying for sure.
Not the Rams, though.
No, not the Rams. Absolutely not.
Bears versus Bucks. We both went Bucks.
Yep.
Texans versus Cardinals.
Cardinals.
We went Cardinals.
I mean, Cardinals are undefeated, and the Texans have, 1 or 2 wins?
Yeah, they're not doing great.
It's bad.
And then Colts versus Niners. We went Colts, both of us. Saints, Seahawks.
I went Saints.
And I went Seahawks. And then next Thursday's game, Packers versus Cardinals.
I said Packers.
And I went Cardinals to remain undefeated.
I went with the win it all kind of thing. But speaking, obviously you mentioned all the teams besides the ones that are on bye weeks, which my Cowboys are one of the bye weeks. But you mentioned Miami and Houston. There's some traction there. There's some fuckery. You want to speak on that?
Yeah, I just don't get it. I 100% don't get it.
I would if you knew dude was gonna play. He was able to play.
Yeah. So,
but this,
we're talking about honestly, and this is crazy. In the NBA, 3-team trades happen pretty regularly.
Yeah, all the time.
I honestly, if I'm sitting down thinking, like, in all of my years of, like, being super into the NFL, I don't know if I've ever remember hearing of a 3-team trade.
I have. I just can't remember.
Like,
it's more behind. You don't, like, with the NFL, you don't, it's not it's not broadcast as much.
I couldn't think of, like, the last time I've even heard one talked about.
Yeah.
But right now, Miami, supposedly, Miami, the football team, and the Texans are all in conversations to move two players and a lot of picks around to deal with the Deshaun Watson issue.
That's not even dealing with the actual issue at hand.
Well, for the Texans, it is.
Yeah, when I'm saying the legal shit.
Yeah, not the legal shit. But the Texans are dealing with their issue because Deshaun didn't want to be there in the first place before all the legal shit. But Miami would receive Deshaun Watson, who we still allegedly did some shit. Lots of shit.
And allegedly. Same shit with a lot of different people. Masseused and allegations, but that's alleged. But yeah.
So they get him, and we don't know if he can play.
Yeah, he's still on the exempt list, isn't he? Or whatever the list is.
Yeah. And the Washington football team would get Tua. And the Houston's would receive the 2022 first round pick from Miami, 2022 second round pick from Miami, 2022 second round pick from the football team, 2022 third round pick from Miami. They're talking about there may be conditional picks thrown in. For example, if Tua is to make the Pro Bowl, then some extra picks would be thrown into maybe to Miami to make them feel better, I guess.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking picks and offerings and shit, though.
Yeah, the last sentence in this article is, the real question is, does this even make sense?
No. If it's what we discussed earlier.
You're telling me, play devil's advocate, play the negative here. Deshaun Watson, not saying he's found guilty. Deshaun Watson does not play the rest of the year. He doesn't play next year at all. What did Miami do? They sold their what was he, second overall pick? What was Tua?
First.
No, Jackson. No.
It was Burrow was first. Right? Joe Burrow. Yeah, Joe Burrow, I believe. No, that was it. Either way, first or second. But there was a whole campaign, tank for Tua. They tanked for Tua. You know?
Oh, yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. And, like, so you took Tua, right? Mm-hmm. And last year he sat behind Fitzmagic for so long.
Who got injured in Washington this season. But do you see what pick he was?
Fifth. He was the fifth.
Was
pick.
he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, top 5?
No, yeah, 1,000,000%.
And so you're telling me you took a quarterback, top 5. And now, you potentially get nothing for him.
Yeah, because if he's found guilty, he's done.
Oh, Deshaun.
Just prison, probably.
Yeah, with the numbers he has, like that.
Accusations, yeah.
Of the accusations, like if he doesn't do time, there's going to be an uproar.
Yeah. He's still practicing with the team right now.
He's found guilty.
And that's if. That's a hard if.
But what I'm saying is, so you're telling me that if the worst case scenario is you get nothing, like literally, you don't just get nothing.
You gave away your top 5 pick.
Yeah, and then you gave away your first, second, and third round pick in this next draft to potentially not have a quarterback.
So here's my thing on this, okay? This is my question, like my curiosity, I guess. Yeah, he's accused of all this, and you know that each team has somebody or some buddies that they pay to investigate, go through fucking everything, clean the books, look at shit from your past, everything.
Yeah.
On top of that, they have the NFL, like the commish, the head, all the owners that they pay to have their own investigation. So if Miami is even entertaining this trade offer or whatever, or reaching out for a trade, if they've had fucking 5 different PIs, public investigator, whatever, private detectives, Dick Tracy's, look at this shit, they might know something that we don't. If this trade
potential,
yeah, exactly, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
If this trade goes through, I'm willing to bet that they know. Well, they know more than we know. We're only getting the Associated Press, who lies about everything and gets fed some bullshit information
from Adam Schefter.
Oof, who doesn't put out real stories. He sends the story to the person that he's talking about to have them redact or edit the story, send it back so he can put it out. Make sure it doesn't
hurt their ego too much.
Yeah. The only real news you get from Schefter is breaking news about trades and breaking news. But anyways, sorry Schefter, but ouch.
It is what it is.
Right. So I'm willing. I'm. If I was a betting man, I would bet that these teams in the NFL knows more than we do, and I'd probably win that bet.
Oh yeah, they know more than we do, but it's still a gamble.
Absolutely. Because I'm not saying it's not.
But like you said, if they're going to gamble that much, they have to have some kind of.
You would think.
Or they just don't.
Or they're just dumb as fuck.
I mean, they are the Miami Dolphins.
Well, they're not good. Nobody said they're dumb, but I don't know.
I mean, they did think Tua would be their franchise quarterback.
Ouch. Yeah.
They
did have issues with Ricky Williams only because he smoked weed.
The whole NFL has issues with people for smoking weed.
You're right. I can't.
Any more NFL news?
Yeah. What about Tom Brady's comments with about Aaron Rodgers and the Chicago Bears?
Oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers had said, "I still own you."
He taunted the fans
after a touchdown run.
Which he's not wrong. He's won more than he's lost in Chicago.
Oh yeah,
and that's a rival.
And Tom Brady had said something like "good for him" type of thing.
Yeah, I'm so happy for Aaron that he
owns some stock.
He owns real estate in the Chicago Bears. Like Tom Brady's on. He's been on. Hey, ever since he left fucking New England, he's been on some his bullshit, and I like this Tom Brady. If this was the Tom Brady we got from the jump, I don't think he'd have so many fucking haters. Honestly, I'm going to be real. I didn't like Tom Brady until I respected him, but I didn't like him until he got with the Bucs.
Oh, he's been way more, like,
vocal and
personable,
animated. Yes, and this new Tom Brady, I like this guy. He seems like he'd be cool to hang out with at the bar and take some shots and talk shit, you know?
Yeah, and so, speaking of what Rodgers said, Olin Kurtz, who's a former Bears center, said, "I would like to punch him in his face." When you see that, that's my first reaction.
Why? Because he said something that hurt your feelings?
And
I guess my vagina hurts.
Rodgers' explanation was that he blacked out after he saw a Bears fan flip him the double bird after he scored the touchdown.
And it was a female fan too. I saw something about that. She gave him the double bird. He blacked out.
Crute said that was a very lame excuse to use.
It is
for that what he said. And I mean, that's on the field in the heat of the moment. If you heard Aaron Rodgers popping off,
yeah,
I could see you shoving him or like see somebody react.
Yeah,
but like after the fact, like
is this guy retired? Is it?
Oh yeah,
this player hasn't been a player. Like, come on, bro.
You're a center from Win, bro. Like I don't what. Like,
so hey, I googled, is Deshaun Watson allowed to play? And this is what came up, right? Sporting News. He's technically eligible to play for the Texans right now. The quarterback has practiced with the Texans to avoid daily fines of $50,000 per McClain. However, he has yet to be active for a game despite being on the 53-man roster and eligible to play. The NFL has not started its investigation of Watson's conduct. So, with that being said, if this trade goes through, the 3-team trade with fucking Houston, Miami, and Washington, he could start day one when he gets there.
Okay.
He's eligible to start. So the only thing that would be stopping him is the coaches or management saying he doesn't know the playbook or whatever. So that right there, if they're looking to bounce back and hopefully they're hoping the NFL doesn't start the investigation until next season, which if they open one, the NFL, that's going to take a year.
Oh, yeah.
So they're looking for wins within the next 2 or 3, probably. So yes, the answer to the question is yes, Deshaun Watson can play, and that trade is a big fucking weird situation.
But again, one of those things, public opinion. Would Miami be willing to take that negative public opinion to play Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, if they're going to trade for him, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, if they pull the trigger, but I'm just, is it worth it? Is bringing him in for potentially an unknown number of games? Like, he could get suspended at any point.
He gets suspended tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. Or never. Is
it? Well, I mean,
we could say in our opinions it might not be. Like if we were to say, ooh, excuse me, ooh, damn, no, it's not worth it.
I don't think
we're not running a franchise.
I just don't think it is.
I don't think it is either, especially since he hasn't played for so long either.
Well, I'm thinking more public opinion. Like,
Miami's never really given a fuck about public opinion though. They're so.
Well, what I'm saying now in this day and age. Things are different.
I get that. But Miami's such a huge city, and their fans, think about this. They've been on the losing end since Dan Marino more than they've been on the winning end.
Oh, yeah.
And their fans are fucking die-hard loyal. I don't think bringing somebody in, even with the allegations, is going to deter the diehard fans.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I could call Ronnie right now and see what he says. Ronnie Leaf is a huge Dolphins fan. I don't think that would deter him from being a fan, whether he thinks he did it or not. I think the W column is all that they really care about.
Yeah.
Plus, people that know the situation, or not know, but are on the outside looking in, it's a 50-50 right now. I'm not going to sit here and say these girls are lying because I don't want to ever discredit a female from if she was actually sexually abused or whatever. Okay, but then again, I'm not going to say he didn't or did do it because I don't want to discredit a man because there's allegations all the time from females that aren't.
Facts.
We've talked about this on this show about Darryl Watkins or whatever. We talked about a couple players that were accused and that were in college and that never
lost their life. Not like physically, but like,
I mean, shit. For 9 or 8 years for the one that could have went to UCLA, he did, and then you know what I'm saying.
Well, lost their livelihoods, their dreams.
Videotaped or audio taped the girl admitting she was lying, and then got everything cleared out. And there was a dude from Baylor, Texas. The big muscle-bound dude looked like.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck!
I just seen another. He always comes up in my feeds, but he was projected to go like top 5.
Oh, easy. That guy was.
And he was accused and didn't get drafted at all. Didn't have a shot. They didn't even look at him, and then it came out that the female was lying too. So, I mean, we're humans. People lie all the time. So you don't until there's facts that have been presented. And right now. There's not facts. There's accusations, and there's really no proof. So
that we have access to.
That we've seen. And even Big Mike and myself. I mean, maybe we didn't dig deep enough into it, go down the wormhole enough. There might be some of you that have seen articles that have more clarity in the situation, but we have not. So it is what it is. But back to the question. He's able to play. He's not on the what's the commissioner's
exempt
list. So it's just a situation of, I mean,
are you willing to take the heat?
Well, I mean,
the Texans obviously aren't willing to take the heat.
Well, like with Ezekiel Elliott, fucking that domestic shit, he got suspended for 6 games, and everybody, detectives, cops, everybody around, even the witnesses said that he didn't do anything at all. He didn't touch her, and she had been known to lie on him the whole time. It was a scorned ex-girlfriend. And they still suspended him for 6 games.
The NFL be wilding though.
Yes.
Roger Goodell.
The Ray Rice, 2-game suspension, which that was the punishment. It's like double jeopardy. That was his verdict. That was it. And then the video came out, which it did show way worse. And then they suspended him indefinitely, which he should have been.
Oh,
he
from the jump.
Yeah, we're not saying that he was right and he shouldn't have been. But the situation is you can't do double jeopardy where you suspend somebody for X amount of games and then double punish them. Either way, I wish they would have suspended him indefinitely from the jump. But they didn't. So that should have taken the second part off the board. But anyways, so that's how I'm ranting on about that. But.
So back to this center real fast.
Sorry, there's a mosquito I had to get.
He was a stud.
Was he?
6 times Pro Bowler.
You know, I've never once heard center and stud in the same same conversation.
Yeah, he was drafted, and this right here says he was the number 1 center available in the 1998 draft.
Damn.
Was taken round 3, pick 64.
Okay.
He played with the Bears from 98 to 2010.
Damn.
And then played 1 season after that with the Saints.
Yeah, 12 years. 11 or 13 years.
Yeah, he had 6 times Pro Bowler, 4 times Brian Piccolo Award, which I'm assuming is some kind of lineman award. He was named to the NFL's 2000 All-Decade team and to the 100 Greatest Bears of All Time team.
Shit, okay.
He played in 195 games and started 187 games.
Damn. Oh, so he was a stud.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I get why he's repping his city and
well, like I said, in the moment...
Yes, but come on, you know.
But after the fact, like, he said, I own this city, like, or I still own you.
Yeah, I still own
that's
you.
Not...
Yeah.
That's not even that good of shit talking.
Yeah.
Like...
It's good, but...
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like... Like, it's not...
It could have been a lot worse.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it was
funny.
Could
have been vulgar.
It was funny, his reaction to what the fan did. Like, whatever. Like... But, like...
It's not fighting words.
Especially, like, this dude's 44, by the way. Like, you're 44 years old.
Oh, wow.
Retired NFL player. And you want to punch Aaron Rodgers in the face because he said, I still own you?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Should have done that when he played. Anyways.
He didn't make some fucked up comment about the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears.
Like, come on, bro.
Right. That's just a bunch of horse shit. But speaking on fuckery in the NFL, so Patrick Mahomes' younger brother, Jackson Mahomes. Mm-hmm. So, did we talk about Sean Taylor and the retiring his number last episode? Did. I believe. Okay. So
as a way to cover up
the scapegoat some shit and Gruden throw him the bus kind of thing, even though he did what he did, I'm not saying, but anyways. So the Washington football team we talked about last episode was retiring Sean Taylor, one of the most legendary fucking safeties ever played the game, who died very prematurely. Yeah, he was murdered. But anyways, so before the game, well, they have his number was 24, or what did they retire? Because he played 2 numbers when he was with Washington.
27.
Let me see.
I think it was 27.
I don't believe it was. I think
or
it was
47.
No. His numbers were 20s.
I think it was 27.
24, I believe.
21.
21. Okay. 21 and 24 is what he rocked when he played for at the time, the Redskins.
21.
So they
21 and 36 were the only numbers he won.
Oh shit, my bad. Anyway, so
they retired 21 is what they retired.
Okay, so down by the end zone on the side, they had in Washington football team colors 21 painted really big with the outline, just like you would paint in the end zone.
Yeah,
and they had it roped off. Well, Pat Mahomes' younger brother Jackson is a big TikTok person. He's younger, So he dances and takes a video of him doing a dance on TikTok before every game, during, after, whatever.
All the time.
On the sideline. Well, this kid, I call him a kid because he's a young adult. I call him a kid.
You act like a kid, you get called a kid.
Yeah. He, inside the roped off area, did a dance to a vulgar rap song. talking about sucking and fucking and stuff.
Yeah.
Did a TikTok dance on the painted 21 that was in remembrance of Sean Taylor during the game where they were retiring his number with his immediate family in the stands. And I think that's fucked up. Disrespect. You couldn't have done that right outside. He released a statement saying that the Redskins security personnel was directing people to stand inside that roped off area on top of the number. And if that's the case, the football team fucked up too. That should have been roped off for nobody to stand in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for you to do a TikTok dance to a vulgar ass song, come on, man. Come the fuck on. Have some fucking respect. Well, I know even if they said stand there, I'd be like, no, I'm not standing there. I'm definitely not doing a fucking dance.
It's like fucking Juju.
Yeah.
He dances on logos and acts like it's, why is it that big of a deal?
Yeah, on the star. Yeah, no, it's...
Till you get smacked in the fucking mouth, bro.
I think we're part of the millennial group, like the age range, but I just hate to be lumped in with millennials.
I was at work.
There's two different sets of millennials, to be honest.
That's the thing is there's actually.
Oh, I didn't know this.
I was at a training for work the other day, and there's two different. I have to try to figure out what it was called, but there's two different millennials. And there's actually names for them. It's Generation Y and Generation Y1. And there's actually a third one now that they're Generation. So Generation Y is like the 22-year-old.
The young ones?
Yeah, and then Generation Y1 is kind of that like upper 20s, like the 29. Yeah. And then Y2 is considered the 30 to 37 millennial.
Okay, so I'm Y2 then. Because I'm 36. And you're Y2 then. You just turned
30, yeah.
Hey, and y'all didn't, I don't think we discussed that, but happy late birthday to Big Mike. His birthday was on the 13th of this month.
Which was last Wednesday.
Yeah, October 13th. So.
But yeah, so.
Happy late birthday, brother.
So they've actually started distinguishing because they do realize that there's a huge difference between us earlier.
Yeah, we're born earlier.
Born earlier, and then the later born millennials.
Yeah, y'all later born ones, most of y'all are fucking... I'm not gonna... Yeah, it's a hard word. I can't say that.
Juju. But yeah, like, you can't act like you didn't know.
Yeah.
Besides, like, at this point, like, we've all seen... Patrick Mahomes, he's having an off season.
Oh, yeah.
And I honestly... I don't know if this is a hot take. I think it's because of his brother and his fiance.
You think so? I think that's what's causing his off-season?
I don't think it's 100%
I know that they're both a distraction. Before this season, I didn't know who his fiance was. I didn't know who his little brother was.
Nope.
We just found out about his little brother within the month. 3 weeks ago?
He forced himself into the spotlight when he dumped that
water on the Ravens fans. Yeah.
But yeah, I really think that those two
are taking a toll.
Are messing with him mentally, at least.
Excuse me.
For off the field shit.
I agree.
I can
see that.
I'm not saying that him and his fiance are having like relationship issues. She's just been in the media a lot, speaking out of turn.
Talking shit.
Like, I've always think about like Vanessa Bryant. Like, she didn't talk.
Sorry, I showed Big Mike we were watching the Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Clippers earlier, and the Warriors were whipping their ass, and then we checked back in like a quarter later, and the Clippers were winning by 2. The Warriors pulled out the W by 2, 115 to 113. But I know we're talking about all the other stuff. Steph, first quarter, 25 points. Was he 9 for 9 from the field? What was it?
I think it was 9 for 9 from the field.
Let me see. I have that screenshot.
5 for 5 from 3.
I'm gonna look at the text I sent you right now.
I think that's what it was.
He went 25, 9 for 9 from the field, 5 for 5 from 3, 100% through the first quarter. 25 points in the first quarter. I'll look that up right now. So let me see. Go ahead.
But you see, like, Vanessa Bryant, one of the more, like, known athletes' wives.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant's wife. R.I.P.
Did you see her running around talking a bunch of shit about shit she didn't know about?
Hell no.
No, because she didn't want to be a distraction. Like, how many other wives or fiancés or whatever do you see talking shit on Twitter and stuff back and forth?
Hey, you don't. Not a lot. Not a lot, anyways.
Like,
so Steph ended the game with 45. 45 points tonight.
That's less than I thought he'd have.
Yeah, well,
after 25
yeah, he scored 20 through 3 quarters, but
that's what I'm saying. I figured he was gonna finish over 50 at least.
Well, yeah, no, I agree.
But hey, I'm not knocking 45. I'm just saying, like, when you score 25 in the first quarter, and the game's like, if it would have been a Golden State blowout and he sat the fourth quarter,
that'd make more sense.
But when the game is that close and he scored 20 through 3, which means he scored like 6, not even 6.
He had 10 rebounds too.
5.5 point, 5.
Oh no, sorry. 10 assists. My fault.
Yeah, so that means he essentially scored like 6.5 points per quarter after that.
Yeah, and he was facilitating a lot. It seems like.
Yeah, hey, they got the dub, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. They're 2-0.
It's just kind of weird to see 25 and then
and then
man hits
and then 45.
Yeah, and hits, and in a close game like that, like I said, if they would have won by 30 and he sat the whole fourth, it would be less weird. But to see a close game where but I mean, he must have done well. He
played 38 minutes, 45 points. Went 16 for 25 from the field, 18 for 13 from free throw.
That means he missed almost a full quarter.
Yeah. And he went 8 for 13 from 3-point.
That means he missed 10 minutes.
Oh, sorry. He had 10 rebounds and 1 assist.
That's weird.
That's fucking... I thought... When I said 10 rebounds earlier, weird. I was like, that's got to be wrong. It had to be assists. No, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Look at the top line right there.
I mean, I guess he had to do what he had to do to win.
6'3", going up and getting it? But 1 assist? That's really fucking odd. I'm gonna do a deep search in that shit.
That's weird.
Really weird. But yes, back to Vanessa. She never talks shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like literally, like
you never heard in the spotlight unless Kobe had beef or not beef, but the drama.
The drama, him and
that's what brought her. You know what I'm saying? Like she never.
Other than that, like
he took her on red carpets, but that's it.
Like if I'm thinking, like if right now, if you were like, rattle off some professional sports wives.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa Bryant, Ayesha Curry.
Yep.
And I don't even know Patrick Mahomes' fiance's name.
It's fiance, so it's not even Mahomes, huh?
No, and so who else is there that you can think of, like, off top? Dwayne Wade,
Gabrielle Union, but she had her own career before that.
Yeah,
but no, what's their Carmelo Anthony, Lala? Well, they're not. They're going through a divorce, I believe. Lala, Anthony, but Vasquez is what you Vasquez. But
and then Tony Parker.
What's David Beckham Jr.? His wife was part of the girl group from England, Spice Girls.
Oh, Spice Girls, yeah.
Victoria Beckham. That's it.
Well, and then Tony Parker, who was his ex?
Longoria.
Yeah.
Eva. But they only date. No, they were married.
They were married.
But still, you don't think about that.
But see, Spice Girls, she had her own. She was famous on her own.
That's what I'm saying. So
Eva Longoria, famous on her own.
Gabrielle Union. You know what I'm saying?
So it's not like
Ayesha, but not for the wrong things. She's made her own business, her own.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
And Vanessa, because she's taken over fucking Kobe's empire.
Oh, yes. I mean,
speaking on that's a great transition.
Yeah, so she's trademarked. I think the article I read.
The 7 trademarks.
7 trademarks in the last month. One of them being KB24, which she wants to turn into like a big camp training setup, because her plan, she said her whole life purpose now is to make sure that Kobe
his legacy
and everybody on that plane didn't die in vain, and she wants to make the legacy keep going, and that includes obviously Nike. She terminated that contract. She's trying to figure out where they're going to go shoe-wise from here.
Yeah.
And so her whole focus is on, and from a person who's dealt with loss, like, is she doing it to stay busy?
Possibly.
Part of it just to stay busy, because if you're busy, you don't think about shit.
Yeah.
Which, if that's what she's doing, cool. She's doing things the good way. Like,
but she's also, I mean, she was a part of it. But
she's always been a part of everything.
But she's inherited on top of it a whole fucking empire. Like, he had so much shit in motion.
There was shit I didn't even find out till after, like...
Dude, vitamin water. Or not
body armor?
Body armor.
Yeah, I didn't know you fucking had so much money tied up on that shit.
And he helped start that. He invested to start that shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you would think having him as one of your investors...
He was a silent part. Maybe that's crazy. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You would think that'd be on the forefront.
You would think, like, he would do a commercial or... Like, in your mind, you're like, to make it, like, big, that would have been the easy way to make it big.
And they just let it sell itself. And it did big. It did big. But imagine Kobe behind, like, in front of that.
Fuck, Jesus. It would have been...
I had no idea. The wife, kids, I drink Gatorade, but everybody knows Gatorade. But the wife and kids love body armor. And I didn't know until after his death, like a month after his death, that he even had a hand in that shit. It was like wild to me. There was a way more shit with medical shit, like devices, you know?
Yeah.
Like the Hyperice kind of thing, but not that. Way more shit. And it's just like, he has fucking hand in everything.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%.
And he was so excited to be retired because then it freed up so much time to do so much more. But the one thing that it freed up the most, that he spent the most devoted to his family and being a fucking girl dad. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and like we've talked about, his whole reason for starting to take helicopters places was to be able to pick his daughters up from school and still be able to make practices and like that kind of stuff.
Because LA traffic, I've lived down there in Southern California, is no fucking joke. If you live 15 minutes from the Staples Center, it's going to take you an hour and a half to 2 hours to get there in gridlock, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, having a helicopter, you fucking hovered just right above it. And that was ultimately his downfall. It's crazy that the thing he did to be closer to his family was the thing that took him away from his family.
Yeah,
minus his daughter, which R.I.P. to Kobe and Gigi and the other 7, you know. And we've talked about it before. That's just, it still hits hard, bro. Like, that shit is never going to ease up. Like, it could be 5 years from now, we talk about that shit still tugs at my heart.
I mean, he's still one of the...
But Nipsey's not as bad as that one.
He's still one of the only sports people all time to ever win a fucking... What was it? An
Oscar?
An Oscar?
Yeah,
something
Oscar.
Like that.
Yeah, first to do it, right? Like,
yeah, it was his little
short film.
I love
basketball.
Yeah.
And then he's had his children's book, which my son has, and then he had his... the other one that I guess you could say was kind of a semi-autobiography. It had some pictures in it, which my son has as well. We own. But, I mean, R.I.P. to the Bean, the GOAT, one of the GOATs, you know? Top 2. Him and MJ were close, you know? So, miss me with that LeBron is fucking second shit. Anyways, that's how I feel. But speaking on...
Yeah, it was... Bryant won the Academy Award.
Which is an Oscar.
For Best Animated Short Film. And it was Dear Basketball.
Yeah, thank you. Dear Basketball. And I don't understand why they call it's the Academy Award, but they call it the Oscar. But from what I understand is the trophy basically a trophy, the award they give you when you win the Academy Award, that it's a silhouette of a man, right?
Yeah.
They nickname him Oscar, so they call it the Oscars.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it was all that short animated film was based on a poem he wrote for his retirement.
And then him and an artist got together and did that short clip.
Yeah, that's dope.
It was great. It was really heartfelt too. So and he read that poem to, I believe, Staples Center, and then turned it into that. But it's a sad situation. But since we're on the topic of basketball, you want to discuss this top 75? It's this fuckery that we don't agree with. So
I find it weird.
So you hear top 75, you think top 75 players of either now or the 75 years the NBA's been a business, right? Yeah, the top 75. But when you hear top, you think the best 75 players in the NBA over the course of 75 years, right, Big?
Yeah.
The best. But tell them who did the voting for this.
So the media...
the media always fucks shit up.
Media, past and present players voted, coaches and front office people voted.
Executives, owners, and shit like that.
Yeah, so this article says a total of it says a blue ribbon panel of current former NBA players, coaches, general managers, and team and league executives, WNBA legends and sports writers and broadcasters were asked to select 75 of the greatest players. As a result in the voting, there was a tie. So it actually features 76 players, 11 active players, and this is one of the things that's weird. All 50 of the players from the 50th anniversary.
Which would be what? 1995?
96.
No, is it 90s? No.
That's what it says. It says which was named in 96.
Yeah, the top 50 in 96. That was the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, they had to be part of it.
I understand that more than anything. That you already put them in the top 50, so therefore 25 years later, there's only 25 new players you can put in, right? That's what you would think, right? 25 new players, because the 50 were already set from the 50th anniversary. So let's get into 25 players from 1996 to 2021, right?
11 of...
But that's not what the fuck the NBA did, and you guys are fucking idiots. Just gonna throw that out there. Whoever came up with this bullshit. But I'm gonna let Big Mike take it and tell you what it is.
So 11 current players are made it, and then it was...
No. Not that they made it. There was only 11 current player spots available to vote for, right? Is that what you said earlier?
That's what... I thought that's the thing, the what do you call it?
So talk about the rules if you have them up, if you don't mind.
I tried pulling them up, and I don't know if there was the way they did it when we were watching the game earlier. I think it was misleading how they showed that.
Okay. Because what did it say earlier that we talked about?
What
they put on the fucking broadcast.
It looked like it said it had to have 6 international players.
Okay.
But this is saying that there are 6 international players. And this is coming right from the NBA's website. Like, it's a whole article. It actually lists all the voters, too. At the bottom. And some of the names are... Giannis voted? Like, what?
Yeah, the current players got to vote. But my thing is...
no wonder Giannis made it in.
How can you say that 6 international players made it if they've never played the NBA?
They all have.
Okay. Yeah. So it was misleading. You're right. It was really misleading. Okay.
So the 6 international players, which one of these I find really funny.
Okay.
So obviously we have Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
He was Greece.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing was from Jamaica.
Oh shit.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Steve Nash is from Canada.
Yeah, I knew that.
Dirk is from Germany. And then Hakeem Olajuwon is from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Makes sense. One I find very
suspicious.
Borderline.
Is it suspicious?
This person is from the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Bruh.
Tim Duncan.
Are you serious?
He's considered an international player.
So wait, who was the one from Jamaica?
Patrick Ewing.
Okay. So I thought when you said that, I was thinking I'd pictured Tim Duncan in the Jamaica one.
How?
If it's the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Just because it's not technically a state? Because I don't need a passport to go there.
Yeah.
So how is that?
Or the DR, right? Dominican Republic, you don't need passport.
No, Puerto Rico, because we own Puerto Rico.
That's Dominican Republic.
And so if I don't need a passport, that's not international.
No. Yeah, right.
In my eyes.
Right? Because that's weird.
So there was there's this one. 4 players who played their first All-Star game. 4 of these guys had played their first All-Star game in 1951 that made this squad.
Jesus Christ.
Where there was something that was crazy.
My whole thing is Klay Thompson got left off. And the only reason I bring this up is because Klay Thompson had quoted or made a statement earlier saying that in his mind, his ability to play basketball was, within the 75 top players. Like, he thinks that he was good enough to make the top 75, but ultimately didn't. And I agree. He has 3 rings, championship rings, has NBA records. He's got 2. One of them was for scoring 37 points in one quarter. We talked about this earlier, Big.
Yeah.
And that still hasn't been beat. That was 2014, scoring 37 in one quarter. And also, he's got records for most 3-pointers in a single game, I believe, or a single playoff game. So he's got 3 rings, multiple fucking records in the NBA that stand today, but didn't make the list. But Damian Lillard, who I love Dame, he's from Oakland, which is closer to us than you guys probably know. He's a great player, but he doesn't hold records, doesn't have any championships. He's been snubbed for making the All-Star team, but I think he finally made one. But how was he on top 75 before Klay Thompson?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, this is we say it all the time with the All-Star game. Like, it's
just rigged in a sense.
This was the thing that was crazy. So Bill Russell joins Bob Cousy, George Mikan.
Yeah, was it Mikan or Meekin?
Mikan.
Okay.
And Bob Pettit. They're the only 4 players that have been named in all 4 of the anniversary teams. The 25, the 30, which, why would you have a 35th?
Yeah, why the fuck would you have a 35?
I don't know.
25, 50, 75, and then next, 100.
Yeah, so 25th anniversary team. Only 10 people were named to that team.
The 25?
At the 25th anniversary.
They should have been 25 and 25.
Well, see, this is when I was talking to Maxine about it. This makes sense because when, like, to me, like, it's cool to name the top 75.
Yeah.
But so for the 25th anniversary, they named 10 people, and the 35th they named 11.
It's dumb as shit.
Well, like, that makes sense because to me, it's like you're narrowing it down to a team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got you.
Because 75 is not a fucking team.
No.
This ain't fucking Bama football.
Shit.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So when you say the 75th anniversary team, in my mind, I think like 12 to 15 guys at most.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna say top 75 for the 75th anniversary, it should be top 75 now. That would get down into the bench. And
so on here it says the 25th anniversary team. Nobody who was active was allowed to be part of the 25th team.
So they change the rules every fucking time there's anniversary.
And so to me, honestly,
shit.
That rule, if that was the rule for all of them,
yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
because then it leaves out the whole. Did so and so get snubbed? But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so to me, adding team to the end kind of throws off the whole 75.
Now that you speak on that, because that's I didn't realize that or think about that until now. You're right. Every fucking anniversary they throw out there with team should be 12 to 15.
Well, it's like if you go on, like we say, onto 2K, and it's like the
70 or the Lakers team, like the greatest
team.
Yeah, you have Kobe, Magic, fucking
you
Hakeem.
Don't have, and even if it's like the NBA or if it's like the 2000s greats, you don't have 30 guys on that team. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But the whole point here was that Russell, Cousy, Mikan, and Pettit are the only 4 that have been named each time.
That's wild.
Only 4.
That's crazy.
And for the first one, only 10 people named.
Yeah.
So there's only 6 other dudes on that squad.
And then the next one, there's only 11 named.
Yeah.
So there was 6 others and a new one besides them.
And so the crazy thing is, again, that thing that popped up on the TV was a little misleading. The 50 players from the 50th anniversary weren't required to be part of the 75. They all were just re-voted in.
Oh my god. Yeah, fuck all that.
So the graphic that popped up, you know how they clickbait your ass?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It to me, when it popped up, it was a little misleading. To me, it made it sound like all the 50 had to be in.
Yeah, they were just grandfathered in.
But no, they were actually all voted back in.
That's wild, bro. That's so wild.
So there's 5. There's 5 NBA legends who are going to serve as ambassadors throughout this season. Clyde Drexler, Magic Johnson, Dirk, Pettit, and Oscar Robinson. They'll be representing different eras of the league's history. They'll make appearances throughout this season.
It'll be like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
What?
2000s? That'd be Nowitzki for the 2000s.
Yeah,
They will make appearances throughout the season at random games, I guess.
I mean, don't they do that anyways?
And they will have a significant presence at the All-Star game in Cleveland.
Are they going to fucking play? Is it going to be the old heads versus the new heads? Man, fuck out of here with that shit. And the NBA's whack with that shit. Look, the NBA is forefront when it comes to social issues. They are the greatest. They lead the way, and the other fucking organizations like NFL, NHL, MLB, they follow suit eventually. So, like, the NBA is the front runners when it comes to dealing with any social issue. But with this shit, this ticky-tack shit, you guys are fucking dumb as shit.
Tell me,
not you guys, but the people that make these fucking rules.
Tell me for an All-Star game, because like obviously All-Star game, there's no defense, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Tell me,
unless you're Kobe.
And yeah, tell me they shouldn't put a fucking circle in the corner, like right as you cross half court.
In the corner, yes.
In the corner,
yes.
Each corner,
4 or 5 point,
4-point play.
Fuck it.
Just for the All-Star game.
Yes. You know, Dame and Steph are going to fucking chef that shit up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's add some fun.
Right?
Like, most of these motherfuckers don't play defense. And I respect why they don't.
Yeah.
It's mid-season.
I'm tired of shit.
Some of these guys are forced to play.
Yeah, and their team's on a championship run trying to get there.
Because Kobe, speaking of Kobe, he tried to sit out an All-Star game because back when his pinky got jacked up.
Yeah.
He's trying to rest it so they could go after a championship. Mm. And if you're voted into the All-Star game and you play the last game before All-Star break, you have to attend the All-Star game. But
what happens if you don't?
You get fined?
Yeah, I think Kobe could have. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But he's such a competitor, too.
And so but the thing is, like, why should you be fined?
Right? I mean, like NFL. So remember, I mean, you're a little bit younger, but you should still remember.
The Pro Bowl was before the Super Bowl.
Was after the Super Bowl. It used to be after the Super Bowl.
It is after now.
No,
it used to be before, and now it's after.
Did they redo it to after? Since when?
For a while, for years.
No, it's 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. Then the Pro Bowl's always been.
Oh no, it was after, and now it's before.
It was after. It was like a week or two after the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so everybody that got voted in, and barring injury, could play in the Super Bowl and get that money or whatever.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, no, I know you got to turn around and shit. But then a handful of years, I don't know, like 10 years ago, they put it 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. Well, think about this: these teams that are in the playoffs that are making a run Super Bowl, yeah, they're gonna have some players that get fucking voted into the Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying though? Like, of course they're gonna be. Their team is doing hella good and being looked at.
Yeah.
So now players have to sit out to they load manage, which in this situation I understand load management because 2 weeks you have a week, like because the Pro Bowl's a week before.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 weeks off from the last playoff game of the season till the Super Bowl. So in the middle, they threw that fucking Pro Bowl weekend, which is dumb as shit. Goodell, you're a fucking idiot. I'm not going to say the word Gruden used. Anyways, but hell of players have to load manage to be able to play in the Super Bowl and try to fight to win a championship. Like, this shit's dumb as hell.
Well, it's like, back when it used to be after, you still had some guys that played in the Super Bowl who were like, nah, I'm good.
Fuck that, I got my ring.
Or even guys that lost who were like, man, I'm just ready to start the offseason.
Yeah, I want to go vacay with my family and get this behind me.
Because really, like, they don't make a ton of money. It's like...
With 25 to play, 50 if you win.
Something like
what
that.
It was last I seen. Or maybe it's 50 to play, 100 to win. But league minimum, that's good money. But league minimum players usually aren't making the Pro Bowl. Not
regularly.
Yeah, not regularly. But that load management, I understand. This whole LeBron James resting himself, and not just this last year, but years ago when he wasn't as old.
So last season,
bullshit.
To play, 37,000.
Okay.
To win, 74,000.
And then taxes, so 25 and 50 probably.
Yeah, essentially, depending
on what state you play in.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like Pat McAfee said. You moved it from fucking Hawaii to Arizona. It was fun to go to Hawaii and play the Pro Bowl.
It's like a destination wedding where you're like, shit, I really don't want to go to the wedding.
Yeah, but I want to go to the place.
But it gives me an excuse to go to Hawaii or wherever.
Yep. And players, they
would bring their families, and they would all
intermingle. The family, the kids would hang out at the pool. The players that from fucking rivals that hated each other in the field and fight each other would come together and fucking be cool.
And the crazy thing is, for a lot of people that don't know, Hawaii has some deep passion for football.
Oh, 1,000,000%. They've got their college, but because of the Pro Bowl, I've got in-laws, like my wife's fucking cousins, and shit that moved out to Hawaii and shit. You know, Drea, Tiffany... And Big On, they moved to Hawaii, and that's like they're huge Raiders fans. They're actually from San Jose, but huge Raiders fans, and that shit carries over in Hawaii. Those motherfuckers can't get enough. That's why they play. They should, instead of going to fucking London or Mexico or whatever, add a fucking Hawaii game. That's one of our states.
Yeah, no, in Hawaii, like they're big. Like, yeah, they love Hawaii, like their college. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I feel like most Hawaiian people that are into football are more into Oregon. Oregon is a huge deal.
It's a powerhouse. Just like when I lived in Utah, the LDS Church, the Mormons were so big that you have so many Polynesian people, Samoans, Tongans up there in Utah because of the Mormon Church. They were the only congregation-only church that went over to Hawaii, to Samoa, to Tonga and shit, and started teaching their studies of the Bible and religion. So it's just a comparison. In Utah, it has one of the biggest cultures of Pacific Islanders that I've ever seen. I guess New Zealand and Australia are the same, but they're closer to the Pacific Islands or close to. But religion-wise, it's Utah. But Oregon is, like you're saying, with the Pacific Islanders, huge because they recruit a lot from there too.
Yeah, that Oregon College for some reason
has the biggest population of Pacific Islanders.
Unless when you talk in all the guys that I've met that that either their lineage comes from there, it's they're either all about Hawaii, which
not a lot. It's Oregon more than Hawaii. Hawaii is more because it's there and they
can. But that's what I'm saying. They're either...
But Oregon's their first choice.
Yeah, legit, if you're if you had, if a bunch of schools gave you offers, where are you going? Most of them are going to say Oregon because that's, through and through blood.
Yeah. That's where their cousins and family members or people they look up to have played.
Yeah.
Role models and shit. You know, Marcus Mariota and stuff, and that's just one. I said one name, but it doesn't explain everything.
No, the list is...
Yeah, it's crazy. Pacific Islanders in Oregon, which has to be a culture shock, because Oregon gets so much fucking snow. Oh my goodness. The culture shock has to be crazy. I think I watched a documentary on... I watched a documentary on Mariota, and I believe... He was talking about the first time it had snowed there and how he was just in awe, what the hell, because they're from these Pacific Islands that the weather's always nice and the beachfront and shit,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's shit's just crazy. But Are we moving on, or are you researching something right now, Big?
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just looking to see if there was anything about Oregon. And so, in, what is this, 2020? Mm-hmm. It literally, one of these sports websites said, did Oregon just get every top commit from Hawaii?
It's true, though. It's fucking true. But we were saying about the NBA Top 75, and we have two stories on my page for the NBA, but the other one, or one of the two, is the Bucks championship ring.
Facts.
That's just wild. Ooh. You had it pulled up earlier. You probably don't need more about the 360 stones, and that was because after the new management or owner group took over, they've won 360 games in the 3 years that the new ownership has taken over. If you open it, you can pull the top off the ring, and it's got a little round that pops open, so you can hang it on a necklace. You can turn this ring into a fucking pendant for a chain. It's got a QR code.
Yeah, so the QR code.
Yeah, we looked this up earlier.
We stole we screenshotted the picture,
zoomed in, and Big Mike uses QR reader to scan it. So
it takes you to a website.
That gives all the details in a short video on the road.
2021 championsring.bucks.com. And it literally it shows, like, the first thing you see is a picture of them holding up the trophy. There's a little video that says Journey to the Championship. And this is what all the stuff, because for those of you that didn't know, everything that goes into a championship ring, how many diamonds, all this stuff, it always has meaning. So, 360 is the total victories under the new ownership. Their first regular season victory came in November 2nd, 2015. Was a 103-96 win over the Brooklyn Nets. 16 emerald-shaped diamonds on the left side of the ring. That's how many victories how many wins it took for them to get their championship.
So they didn't sweep.
You still either way, sweep or not, you still get the same amount of wins.
Oh, wins. Oh, my fault. Sorry.
Yeah, you still get the same amount of.
Yeah, because I was thinking of the Dubs and how they swept. You know.
Yeah, and so the 16 emerald-shaped diamonds on the right side of the ring are each one is for a division title they have. 3 is the approximate carat weight of the shank. Is that the piece that comes off, or?
I'm not sure.
50 round stones on the inner bezel. After 50 years, it's because it was 50 years, but exactly between their last trophy and this trophy.
I thought it was 53.
1971 to 2021.
No, I was wrong, obviously.
And so
look, when I read the article 2 days ago, it said 50. Yeah, you're right. 50 for the amount of years it's been between championships, not for the 50 piece that Giannis had dropped in that last game, and not for the 50 piece that he ordered from Chick-fil-A the next morning.
That's funny.
That's the article I read. So whoever wrote that article, fucking kudos. But sorry.
It says the Milwaukee Bucks made history and fulfilled the Bucks in 6 mantra, so that was added to the side of the ring.
Like the Suns in 4 that got shitted on?
Yeah. And then 2 trophies are inside the shank.
So is that inside the ring, the part that touched your finger, I'm guessing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, sorry, go ahead.
It's for the Larry O'Brien trophy, because they have 2 of them.
Yeah.
65.3% is the purity of the gold that's used on the trophy.
That's some crazy. For what reason? There's a reason for that. Does it show?
The Milwaukee Bucks finished their season with a record of 46-26, with 7 losses and 16 wins in the playoffs, which brings their final season record to 62-33.
Yep. That's some ultimate trolling shit, almost.
With the percentage being 65.3%.
Yep.
So
there was reasons for everything.
They intentionally.
I read an article a couple days ago.
Intentionally made the trophies, and then
the percentage of the stones, everything was there was reason for fucking
this everything. Right here, the total carat weight of the emeralds.
Yeah.
4.14.
Yeah.
What's the area code for Milwaukee?
414.
414.
Yeah, they were really fucking brainiacs when it came to this shit.
And the approximate carat weight featured in the wording World Champions, 0.53. And that's because it was team played their first regular season game against the Bulls in 1968, which would be 53 years.
That's just crazy.
That's what I'm saying. The thought that these people...
I wonder who designed it, because Tiffany Jewelers makes it. Who designed it, though?
Let's see.
But, and also freaking... so, the removable top. So, the Warriors' last championship ring, the top of the ring, it's like a dome. You could unscrew it. It comes off, and it has more... art or whatever you want to call it, and facts in there and shit, and you can screw the ring back on the top of it.
Yeah.
With the Bucks, their ring is on like a clasp where you pull the top off, and a hinge folds out that could be put on a chain. So you could take this diamond top off, this little octagon or square piece, take it off your ring, have like a Cuban link chain or something, that will fit through the latch of the bezel, the hole on it, and this ring, this championship, big ass championship ring, turns into a pendant for your necklace. Like the shit they're doing every year, it's like Pimp My Ride. Or I heard you wanted some jewelry for your jewelry, so we're putting jewelry on your jewelry on your jewelry. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm surprised when you pop that bezel off, it didn't have a necklace inside it that comes out. You feel me? Like, what the fuck?
So if you were the one who designed the Bucks championship ring,
mm-hmm.
and I went to
the Milwaukee Bucks, not the Buccaneers,
and I went to your website,
mm-hmm.
do you think you'd put it at the top? Because this guy did.
1,000,000%. What the fuck?
His name is Jason of Beverly Hills.
He's a huge jeweler down there.
But yeah, so literally when you go to his website,
the whole screen's translucent, and it's a video of the ring spinning and shit.
Yeah.
Go to Jason Beverly Hills website. What's the actual website?
It's jasonofbh.com.
And check this shit out.
There's literally a learn more button that...
He gives the facts on it?
There's a 3D walkthrough of the ring.
What?
Hey, I'm going to have to watch this when we're done.
Y'all fucking 10 people that listen to us, or whoever in the future, check this shit out. This ring is pretty fucking dope. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, and inside the ring, it has like different logos and stuff.
Every logo the team has ever used throughout their whole conception.
And like different
the pennants.
Yeah, well, it says like some of it's cut off and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like pennants. There's established in 1968.
Mind you, pennants mean those flags you get that are triangular shaped, long triangular sideways shaped with the stick. Those are called pennants also, with the logo on them. Like the old school flags you'd hold up.
Yeah. So this also breaks it down. Yeah, the ring's dope. I wonder what it would cost if you were buying it, but I mean, that's a whole different story. Did they say how much it cost?
No, I did. Oh, I'm sure it did somewhere. I didn't look into that, though. Are you looking that up right now?
Yeah.
So while he's looking up, so Nike in Beaverton, Oregon, where they're established from, the owner of Nike is a Oregon Ducks alum, and their whole facility is in Beaverton, Oregon. And it's state of the art. Interrupt me when you figure it out, okay?
All right.
But their whole compound is fucking nuts. It's huge, state of the art. If you watch Drake's video, what's the one with him and Lil Durk? Big, do you know? Is it Smile Now, or some shit like that? He films his whole video driving up to the compound. In the compound, like the jet skis on the little fucking waterfront up front is at Nike, but they just opened up I don't know if they just opened up, but they just reported on the LeBron James new building, and it's called LeBron Innovation Center or something like that. And this shit is crazy. It's got one part where it's all the molds of every shoe that has been for all the LeBrons, the King's Secret Collection, and it shows, let me see, 5 across, 4 down, 20 different shoes.
Yeah.
And it's in a casing and stuff. I'm trying to see more. It's got a meeting room with art everywhere. It literally has a Winnebago inside with the whole side of it open. If you guys get a chance, look up the Nike LeBron Center. But yeah, the Laugh Now Cry Later is the music video from Drake and Lil Durk, where it shows the Nike compound. But this compound's crazy. If I were to explain it, I explain it for like an hour. But outside it's got a ramp that is a gradual incline, and it goes up like 3 stories on the outside, and it's a track material like that clay, that red clay color.
Yeah.
And it goes up and around. It's got a statue of LeBron James' signature logo. The LJ whatever at the crown in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
Out
LBJ
front.
or whatever.
The LBJ in the middle is huge. But yeah, if you guys get a chance, check it out. It's Nike LeBron Innovation Center. But yeah.
And so back to the ring, I just read they actually never release exactly what any ring is worth.
Wow.
Estimation for last year's ring was around $20,000.
Who was that one last year?
The Lakers.
Okay.
It was not last year. The Bucks won last year, but the year before the Bucks.
Yeah, gotcha.
The estimation is around $20,000 per ring.
That's it?
Yeah.
For all that?
Yeah.
You would think just hardware alone, the silver or platinum or gold, and then rubies, amethysts, and fucking the stones.
Yeah.
You would think would be a lot.
And I mean, the person that estimated could be way the fuck off.
Yeah. And the design, having all that craftsmanship and had the stencil shit in, all the labor.
But what I'm saying is, you're telling me that I felt like 20 was low too, but I respect that they're not gonna be out there saying how much each ring costs.
Yeah. So how can you estimate that? You can't estimate the craftsmanship. That bitch is probably at least 100. I don't know. But then again, you're making mass. So think of an NBA team. 12 to 15 players.
Well,
plus, they give the rings to the coaches, management, ownership, front office, staff. I watched the thing earlier. Yeah, I watched the thing earlier. It was a shoe collection from a guy that started off for the Boston Red Sox at day after his 16th birthday, working concessions, frying chicken tenders and fries, then moved to security. Security, that's it. And when they won their first championship...
in like 1,000 years?
He said he was offered the chance to get a ring. I'm guessing he had to pay for it, or there was something more to it, because
there's taxes probably involved, because you have to pay taxes on gifts.
Got you. Okay. So he said, I was offered a chance to get a championship ring, and he had one. And it's a big ring, and maybe not as big as, the Bucks or the NBA one.
From watching like documentaries and like
they give the whole front office everything.
Like cheerleaders ones are different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like if you weren't directly involved, they're
as in coaching, management, ownership, and players.
They're different.
Yeah,
they're not as gaudy.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Well, yeah, because you got to think about and I'm not a jeweler or whatever, but like 360 small diamonds, emeralds, whatever else.
Yeah. Stones.
Like you're 20,000.
That's cheap, and you're making them in bulk. Making them in bulk. If it's an NBA team, you have to make that same exact ring, minus the difference is the name on the side and the number. For each fucking player, in the NBA is 12 to 15 players or whatever, right? 13. But you're talking about football, you got a 53-man roster, not including coaches, coordinators, management, owners. 50. Then you're probably looking at 75. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm probably not 100. But for sure, 75 different rings have to be exact, minus the name, and the players have different numbers on theirs. The coaching staff might have, like, if they're an offense coordinator, it might be OC on the side instead of a number. Head coach might have HC instead of a number.
Yeah.
But say like the Buccaneers, Brady's gonna have his Brady, and then the other side is 12. Bruce Arian, the coach, can have Arian, and then probably HC on the other side. So it's still kind of the same, but you have to make at least 75 rings, probably identical, minus the name and number. So you're making the shit in bulk. I don't know. That shit's wild, bro. Like, there's things that I've always been since growing up that fascinate me. One is big machinery has always been a thing, like earth movers and excavators.
Yeah.
Shit that's just ridiculously huge and shouldn't work but does. And shit like this, little precise stuff like rings and how they're made.
So I looked up just to see like what the Lakers ring had in it to see how comparable. So in total, the Lakers ring has 804 stones and is about 15.5 carats of white and yellow diamonds.
Yeah. Well, the Lakers also have a more profitable organization.
So talking about the details, this is the list of the details that were put into the 2020 ring. There's 17 purple amethyst stones to represent this team's 17 championships.
Okay.
It with 0.95 carats
almost one, yeah,
of amethyst to acknowledge the 95 days that was spent in the bubble.
Jesus.
There are 0.52 carats of yellow diamonds to stand for the 52 regular season wins. Around the ring, there are 17 trophies on top of the amethyst stones to acknowledge the 17 championships.
Yeah.
Each player's number surrounds the ring.
Yeah.
The number has a mamba snake behind it to pay homage to Kobe Bryant.
That's fucking dope. Because it was Yuri Pass too. That's fucking dope.
And the 2020 to 21 team slogan was put on the side, which is "Leave a Legacy." That was their mantra. There's a removable top.
Yeah, that started with the Warrior. The Warriors 2016 ring was the first one you can remove the top, and it was unscrewed, and the inside was the bowl of Oracle Arena.
And so it reveals all the retired jerseys.
Wow.
With special emphasis on the 2 Kobe Bryant jerseys.
The 8 and 24.
The background behind all the retired jerseys is a snakeskin texture.
That's dope.
For the Mamba. The removable top has Unity written on the underbelly, with each player's name in the background that was part of the championship.
Yeah.
The regular season record is featured on the side of the ring, and the record of each individual playoff series is on the side. That's how it was for, I don't know if we said it for the Bucks. They had their each playoff record on the side too.
Yeah.
4-0, 4-3, 4-2.
Yeah.
That on the side. So it's crazy how different, looking at rings now, how gaudy these championship rings are getting.
Yeah.
Compared to
those are small. It's like a class ring.
Yeah, and so like I'm on the Lakers history page, and it's like the 2010 ring, because that's the last time they won before that.
Yeah.
It's like, it has like 16 diamonds on it for the championship. There's like not as much thought going into it, you know what I mean? And then like the 2009, like it's just, when you go back.
Yeah, it's a huge change.
It's like there's a little bit of thought, but nothing like there is now.
Yeah, it's every year it's getting bigger and bigger. And now, this last year, the Bucks, now this fucking ring turns into a pendant for a necklace.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Next you're gonna open it up. It's gonna be a ring that and part of it can be a pendant, and then you have 2 diamond earrings that pop out too, and a watch. And eventually it might be a ring with a watch inside it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so the 1981, which is the first one they won.
Okay.
It legit looks
like class ring.
Like it could be a class ring.
Damn
like it literally like. It's so janky looking. Like it just has 1 diamond in the middle.
You're like, what's the material? Stainless steel and cubic zirconia.
It's tough, dude.
Maybe, but fuck it. That means the world to somebody who won that.
Oh, facts.
And they'd rather have that than the new one because it may, the nostalgia and shit. That's crazy, though. That's nuts. See, rings are getting gaudy and crazy.
Oh, facts.
I don't know. What are you going to start giving fucking a ring that pops out and has a hologram? You know what I'm saying? You open it and you could project it on the wall, and it could give you that video.
Right.
A 5-minute video of the race to the championship. That'd be dope.
Hey,
Beverly Hills, like Jason of Beverly Hills, like, hey, hit me up. Hit us up. Big and Bliss Podcast at gmail.com. Hit us up.
So, when I was looking at that, what do you think Shaq's ring size is?
His ring size?
It says it's the biggest ring they've ever had to make.
21.
No, not even that. No, not that big.
Really? Okay. 15.
17.
Okay. His shoe size is 23.
Yeah, he had I saw something one time where he had like a car dealer or like a rim shop, and he wouldn't sell a rim smaller than his shoe size. That was like the whole like.
I love 24s, bro.
That was his whole thing. Is he wouldn't sell a rim smaller than his shoe.
He owned a rim shop.
Yeah, like it was like a tire shop.
He had a rim shop that he went to that he wouldn't buy or.
No, he was like partner in this like tire shop or something.
Had to be in Miami. Had to fucking be Miami.
And he literally like it was years and years ago like, and it was it was like this thing it was his whole motto is he wouldn't sell a rim that was smaller than his shoe size.
I get it. Well, 24s, 23s, 23s are hard to come by. Any odd number is really, like when you hit 20s, 21, 23, 20, it's so hard.
It's 20s, 22s.
They make 21s and 23s, but it's hard to find tire size. But I get that had to be Miami because people down in Miami especially love dunks, boxes, and bubbles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Putting the big rims on the older cars and shit. And I love that shit too.
They're switching lanes.
Right? That's more like a Texas swinging. When I say I don't drink and drive, I heard sip and swerve, but for you or us, for us it'd be sip and swang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's always been that funny shit. But I think I've only got 2 more on my list, and it's about Evander Kane and Damonte Casey and Enes Kanter. I mean, it's probably gonna be the last subject we talk about, or whatever you have. We have one to talk about. What do you have over there, Big?
I've got most of my stuff wrapped up over here.
So which one do you want of those 3? Enes, Damonte, or Evander?
Well, I mean, Enes is a quick one, mainly because I don't really know. I know what he did.
He plays for the Celtics now?
Yeah.
He used to play for the Trailblazers, Portland Trailblazers.
He's been a couple different stops.
Okay. So, supposedly he did what? He showed his support for Tibet?
He said and I saw the picture, he has some, like, not on-court sneakers, but he has some, like, shoes that he had painted, and it says Free Tibet on the side.
If you guys don't know, China is, not at, I can't say at war, they're at odds.
I think Tibet wants its freedom from China.
Yeah, independency.
And that's as much as I know.
Yeah, we're not getting all that, but...
So China said they're not going to broadcast anything, any games. Mind you, China's one of the big basketball countries.
I think second biggest, and then Australia's third, but yeah.
They're not going to broadcast any games that involve the Celtics.
Because of Enes.
Because of what he said.
Or anything that Enes has to do with, not just basketball or games.
Yeah, any highlights, any of that bullshit, nothing.
They're boycotting Enes Kanter. And I think Enes Kanter's from like Turkey or some shit.
Yeah,
he's not even from that region. But he's supporting or showing support, which is cool. But I mean, I don't get into the political movement, so I don't know what the whole situation between China
I know that it's been going on for a long time.
In Taiwan, all that shit. There's a lot of beef going down.
He's from Switzerland.
Okay, my fault.
Hey, at least he's taking a stand, because Switzerland, they always neutral.
Yeah. All they do is fucking around with watches, knives, and chocolate. They don't want no smoke.
Facts. They're just like, nah, fam.
Oh, yeah, and then offshore bank accounts. But, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
So, but, hey, more power to you, Enes. I'm not saying I don't know what's going on, so I don't
Hey, but use your platform.
I don't have an opinion to speak on if that's right or wrong. I'm guessing it's probably right, because I've heard that China's a democracy, but I don't know. And then we'll just do some quick bumps real fast.
But yeah, I'm just saying,
no pun intended.
Use your platform.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw it the other day, and it said for Kaepernick, because he tried to use his platform, but a lot of guys are starting to think that he didn't actually use his platform for what he was saying.
I watched I Am Athlete podcast, Brandon Marshall's podcast, and they had Des Bryant on there. And he said that he didn't use his platform. And he said he was really upset about it. Not mad, but upset. And he said, he said Cap's bro. That's my bro. He said, I reached out to him. We stayed in contact. And he was saying that he just didn't do...
Like he said he was going to do all these things.
And didn't do that. But at the same time, Des said he didn't use his platform. He had the platform, he had all the attention, and didn't do what he should have or what he said he was going to. And then B. Marsh and the other guys on the show, I think maybe Ocho Cinco, asked him what he didn't do. And he didn't really have an answer for it. Like, he had answers for it, but he also understood that there was other things that Cap could have done that he wasn't aware of. But he was saying, either way, the long story short was that he thinks that Cap should have done a lot more with the spotlight that he had and for the big game he talked. And he said that he was like, I hit bro up, and bro wouldn't respond after that, and yada yada. Anyways, and then speaking of football, well, and Des Bryant, Cowboy, but Damonte Casey, who spent almost his whole career in Atlanta.
His whole career so far,
minus this season. Yeah. Now he's 27, 28. He's a safety for the Cowboys. He got a DWI out there in Texas, in the Colony, Texas, and I guess where he got pulled over and arrested was like 3 or 5 miles away from the Star of Texas in Frisco, Texas, which is where the training facility for the Cowboys is. He got pulled over for not
3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m. not signaling to change lanes. And then when the officer approached the vehicle, he said he reeked of alcohol. His eyes were glossed and glassy. And Damonte Casey had admitted to having 3 shots of liquor in the last few hours and leaving a party. So he was ultimately arrested for DWI.
Yes, I mean...
That's a harsh situation. I don't know. Do you want to speak? We talked about earlier the card that most teams give you, but we know for a fact the Cowboys give you.
Yeah, I mean, for those people that don't know, a lot of professional teams...
We sign with them.
You have access to a car service where they will come and drive your car home for you, no matter the time, nothing. Or if you don't want someone driving it, a tow truck, flatbed tow truck, come and pick your shit up. And personally, 1, I would take advantage of it. 2, if I have like a supercar, I'm not having it trailered. I know that tow truck drivers and all this shit. I just could not see, like, if I had a Lambo, I don't trust a tow truck guy enough. Tow truck guys, there's got ones that are great at their job, whatever, but I've seen, just little damage from, pulling it up onto one of those things. And
even if they're the ramps, you can't trust everybody.
And so, me, if I had signed,
excuse me,
I'm going to be like, hey, bro, you can drive it.
So that
I'm going to be the dude hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride. All in that.
It's not about what. It's not about the size of the what. How's it?
It's not about the size of the car. It's the arm hanging out the window.
But it reminds me of something. So the rapper Flo Rida years ago had this Bugatti Veyron, and I don't know if he might still have it, but the story is something I remember from fucking 5-10 years ago. In the heat of his success, when he was big, down in Miami, he was in his Bugatti and driving and got pulled over in his Veyron. I mean, mind you, at this time, it's $2 million car. Now they're probably a little bit more because the value's up now.
Yeah.
But he got pulled over and he ended up getting a DUI, and fans were walking next and taking videos next to where he got pulled over on the side of the road. Flow rider, blah, blah, blah. Hey, we'll drive your car home, yada, yada. Anyways, the cops were going to have it towed, and he told them, you're not fucking towing my car. It's $2 million. If anything happens to that car, you're liable. The tow company's liable. Yada, yada, yada. They let him, and it might have just been more because he's a celebrity, but they let him call his manager to come down and drive it home for him. But that's piggybacking off Big Mike saying he wouldn't feel comfortable with somebody driving his supercar, hypercar, luxury. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that piggybacks off that. But either way, the Cowboys are in a bye week, so I'm guessing Damonte was like, shit, we get a bye week. I'm going to fucking cut loose and have my cheat days and yada yada. And it ended up fucking him, which is going to ultimately fuck my Cowboys over because he's going to get, a 2-game suspension probably? Yeah, I think it's 2-game for a DUI or first. Usually.
And I honestly, I didn't follow him enough in Atlanta to know whether or not he's ever been in trouble.
I've never heard of him getting in trouble either, yeah, so exactly.
I've never seen it as like a headline or anything, but
yeah.
I mean, he's not like he's a good safety, but he's not like if Troy Polamalu would have gotten in trouble, that would have been, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been headline news.
And so I just don't know if Casey's on that level where like any little thing he does is headline news.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's a really good defender, but I don't think he's like.
So like I said, I don't know if he's ever been if he's been in trouble before. It'll be longer, obviously.
4 or 6 or way more, but yeah. And the last thing that I had to end off is we've discussed Evander Kane, who was, I don't know position, for the San Jose Sharks hockey team a couple of times on this podcast.
Yeah.
The first time he was, he had supposedly left his pregnant wife and he just left her, and she had claimed that he was gambling and fixing games that he was actually playing in, which if that's the case, you're Pete Rose, you're done. Pete Rose's Hall of Fame caliber numbers, like he holds records.
Yep.
Will never probably be in the Hall of Fame.
And the fact that he's even coaching in the MLB.
Is he?
Yeah, he was a hitting coach for...
Oh, okay. I thought I was thinking like manager, but yeah.
Like the fact that they got back to that point?
He was banned from even being allowed to go to any games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which, I don't get... Like, if you're a player and you cheated and shit, like, to ban you from being in a stadium or a field, like, it's kind of weird to me.
Like, I can see getting banned, like, say I played for the White Sox.
Yeah.
And I did some shady shit and whatever through some games. If the White Sox wanted to say, hey, look, we don't want you in our
they
stadium.
Can say whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, they can say whatever they want.
I think it's wild to say that you just can't go to any MLB.
He was never allowed anything MLB. Anything the MLB had control over, he was banned from going to games, from obviously playing, coaching, being NFL, NFL, being in the Hall of Fame, any of that shit. So, and then they loosened shit up. He started being allowed to go to games, and he would pay for the ticket and go to games and sit in the stands like you or I would and watch the games. And then I totally didn't even realize that he was a batting coach. Well, like Barry Bonds, too. He ended up coming in and being a batting coach for first. I think it was L.A. he was a coach for, and now he's with the Giants. But, yeah, Pete Rose admitted to fixing games, and he's like the poster child of what not to do and all this shit. But Evander Kane, his wife, had accused him and actually gotten a hold of the NHL front office and tried to give him all this info that he was gambling and fixing games that he was playing and basically point shaving or doing whatever. Well, the NHL did an extensive investigation and realized that they found that to be completely false, and he got cleared of all that shit. And that was the first time we reported on this man, Sharks, San Jose Sharks player. Then a little while later, which was just a couple weeks ago, Big Mike and myself reported on Evander Kane, his ex-wife, who's seeming to be a jaded ex-wife. You know the deal. You're with somebody and everything's good, and then you guys break up, and all of a sudden she's going around town saying you have a little, member and all this stuff. But at the time, it wasn't little. It was, everything was fine. But and that goes back to men when this breakup. They say things about a female that aren't true. But anyways, so she, and I don't even like getting into this, but she had at the second time reported domestic assault and I believe sexual assault, and then all the investigations led to that being false as well. Anyways, this is their situation. Do you have something to report on with the Pete Rose thing?
No, I was just trying to see where he was batting coach for.
Gotcha. So, this new one, and this is all him. This is all Evander Kane's issue. He got suspended for, I believe, 20 or 21 games now for submitting a false COVID-19 vaccination card. So, I read the report shortly earlier, and it said that he had submitted a false vaccine identification, whatever it's called, I don't know, the vaccination proof card to the NHL. So he obviously did not get vaccinated, and then had somebody, I'm just going to say Photoshop because that's what most people go to, Photoshop a certificate or card or whatnot. So he's banned for, I think they said 20 or 21 games without pay. So, if I was being lied on, and this is making national news 2 different times, I got cleared 2 different times, I think I'd do everything to stay the fuck out of the spotlight. What about you, Big?
Oh, facts. I am trying to stay as far away from the spotlight as
I'm not even fucking jaywalking. I'm using my turn signals. Damonte Casey.
Yeah.
Or not driving drunk. Sorry, not driving drunk. But
also using my turn signals.
Yeah. Whether I'm drunk or not. So that's what I have.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is at that point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But we thank each and every one of you guys who have been rocking with us, who are rocking with us, who will be. We appreciate everybody. And this is episode 20 of the Big and Blizz podcast. And I'm sure we'll have a bunch of shit to talk about next week, including probably Tom Brady talking his shit, because every week there's something new with Tom Brady talking that shit. But anyways, that's Big Mike. I'm your boy Blizzy, and we're signing off. Peace.